So you turn on the tap at home and you think, gosh, this water's good, but where does it come from? The journey begins right here at Spring Lake Park. Right here in this building is a massive pump that is taking piping from Spring Lake, and it's forcing that water almost 4 miles into the city's water treatment plant at Glenwood Park. It all starts right here at Spring Lake. So right now we're going to send it back to Mr. Kent Cox. He's the city's water treatment manager, and he'll tell us the rest of the story.
Okay, so this is where the water enters the treatment plant, and the first stage of the process after it leaves Spring Lake and makes the 4-mile journey. At Spring Lake, we add powder activated carbon to remove taste and odor from the water. Then at this beginning of this process, we add an aluminum as a coagulant to help settle and remove any of the organics, as well as the powder activated carbon that we fed at the lake. Then from upstairs, we add lime to soften the water, which aids in the removal of nitrates. And we can go upstairs and see from there a little more of the process. Okay, so here's after the water enters at the bottom. We're running about 1,000 gallons a minute right now through the treatment process coming from the lake. As I mentioned, downstairs we're adding lime for the softening process. All of the material that we're removing stays down. As you can see, the water is really clear and doesn't look like there's hardly any movement coming off of the top. Okay, so after the water left the clarifier upstairs and has been softened, we add fluoride for protecting your teeth and lower the pH of that water by adding carbon dioxide before it travels through the gravity filter system, which you're currently viewing. That it's actually a bed of granular activated carbon to additionally remove dissolved organic material, any solid organic material that passes through the clarification. After this point, the water travels through a network of pipes and storage underground here at the treatment plant. And as it begins that journey, we add chlorine for disinfection and a corrosion inhibitor. So this is our main SCADA computer that controls and monitors everything from the pumps at Spring Lake through the treatment process to where the water's pumped out of the underground storage here to the system and towers in your tap. The lab here is where someone staffs 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We run 3 shifts per day. On this computer system, as well as on paper, the operators log the testing and quality analysis that they do on the water every hour. So part of our monitoring for both turbidity and chlorine residuals through the process are monitored continuously, and the system records those readings every 5 seconds and then reports them to the EPA every 15 minutes. To supplement the Spring Lake supply and our daily or hourly ebbs and flows in our demand of water usage, we have a 1 million gallon a day reverse osmosis treatment. That's water that comes from almost 1,000 feet underground and a low aquifer here. This treatment process yields about 650 gallons a minute during the peak demand times of the day and evening. so that we don't have to continually adjust the water coming from Spring Lake and make chemical feed adjustments and cause potential upsets to the water quality. After we leave the underground storage here at the treatment plant, we pump an average of 1.8 million gallons a day to town, and through the high service pumps and the network of piping underground of approximately 202 miles, where the water then goes to either or both water towers and throughout the system and to your tap. And depending on where you live within the system or our other communities that purchase water from us, the water could take anywhere up to or in excess of 30 days before, from the time it leaves the treatment plant, by the time it gets to your tap.
So as our journey comes to an end, we want to thank the operators at the water treatment plant who do such a great job of making sure our water is good and it's safe. Thanks for joining us.